Afternoon and welcome to Gateshead International Stadium for this afternoon's game in the National League between Gateshead and Southend United. There is an absolutely fantastic following in the East Stand away from us. Over 500 Southend fans have made the trip up here today to Tyneside to support their team, who are on a fantastic run at the moment. They haven't lost since mid-September, and they'll be looking to continue that and put their off-field worries behind them as they struggle to pay wages at the moment, I believe, and some other things going on. But Gateshead, let's say, rock bottom of the league today, starting off. Can they pick something up here against high-flying Southend? We'll find out. You'll have it all here with us here on the Heed On Me podcast. And I forgot I'm on camera there. I should have waved and said hello. I was too busy looking about. So there you go, a little glimpse of the magic that happens behind the microphone. I am going to be joined by Greg Ollie as we kick off. So unfortunately, the captain is out. He'll be back in a couple of weeks, hopefully. But the team's losses our gain. And if you look a little bit further along on the camera there as well, on the Taylor stand, Mark Carruthers is there. He's going to enjoy the game from the stand instead of behind the microphone. But it's lovely to see Mark here on a match day. Right, this is a fully interactive commentary, and we'd love to know where you are listening from in the world, whereabouts you are. You can message us on the what you're looking at us now. Look at that, there we go. And send in your predictions. Let us know where you're from, and we can put it up. Well, all the way throughout the game, we'll read out your messages, obviously in a break of play. We don't want to do it in the middle of a goal attempt or anything like that. So do send them in. And if you are a Southend fan, thank you very much for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to have fans there. And we've got a message from Liv. She's fab to be here. Managed to do the journey by myself. Well, Liv, I spotted her in the stand, but even better, that's just sitting there watching us in the build-up to the game. So there we go. Get the best of both worlds is Liv there in the stand along from me. So please do as Liv has done, and we bring up your messages on the screen. Also as well, if you could like and subscribe, as it says below there, that would be amazing. Help us reach more people. That's what it's all about. We're doing this. It's a fan run commentary and podcast, the Heed On Me podcast live. We will be back on air in our normal time slot of 9 p.m. on Thursday evening as we preview the next game and look back at this game. We've got one there from Craig Hilton. Come on, Gateshead. Well, if there's any Southend fans there, send us your messages. Right, Gateshead have been busy in the transfer market in this past week. We've seen two players leave that were on loan from Huddersfield and Hull City in Luke Daly and Jevon Mills, respectively. Had to remember the names there. They have left, but Gateshead have dipped back into the loan market and brought Connor Carty in on loan from Bolton Wanderers. So there we go. So this is what Connor had to say after signing for the club.
Connor, first off, just welcome to Gateshead. Obviously, signed on loan on a short-term period. I mean, first off, just how is it to get things sorted and be here, obviously, ahead of a game tomorrow as well?
Yeah, really happy with how everything's gone training today as well. The lads have been really good with me as well, so looking forward to get going.
Yeah, and you mentioned training there, obviously having your first session with the rest of the boys. I mean, how is it in terms of acclimatising? I suppose, obviously, you've already been training with another club in the league this season anyway, so I suppose it's not been too much of an adjustment for you, really.
No, travelled up yesterday in the session this morning. The lads are all been fine with me, took me in really well and enjoyed the session this morning. It was nice and bubbly, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it's not your first taste of National League football this season. Of course, you've been out on loan at Oldham recently, so I mean, how's that been this season in terms of getting a bit of exposure to the league and that senior football?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously coming from Wolves and Bolton, playing them kind of academy games, it's good to get out in front of crowds and play men's football. So really enjoying it, yeah.
Yeah, and of course Mike and Busters want the lads to play quite a high intensity, fast kind of play style here. But I mean, I suppose, what have you had in terms of conversations with them so far about how they want you to fit into the squad, really?
Yeah, they literally said I'll fit in really well, because that's kind of my game, is playing that like high intensity press and runs in behind. So yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned a little bit there, obviously an attacking player, but obviously fans probably won't have seen you play before. But how would you sort of describe yourself as a player?
Yeah, just like to get in behind, just get shots off early, and just get on the ball and create chances.
And back home tomorrow, of course, obviously potentially a first taste for yourself. I mean, for you, how much are you just looking forward to getting straight in and getting involved?
Yeah, definitely. Try to help the team as much as I can. Looking forward to seeing how they play and getting involved. Yeah.
There you go. That was Conor Carty speaking to Jack McGragan, Gateshead FC's media manager there after signing on loan from Bolton Wanderers. He's on the bench today. I'll quickly go through the teams before we hear from Mike Williamson, what he had to say in the build-up to the game. But this is how Southend line up today. And there it is. It's Andeng Ndi, Scott Morris, Hobson, Kensdale, Bridge, Powell, Taylor, Miley the captain, Von Gook is I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Von Gook, Ray and Lapata make up the starting lineup. For Gateshead, this is how they line up this afternoon. Montgomery in goal, Magnay, Richardson, Williamson, Pye, Elliot Forbes returns from his loan spell at Spennymoor, Camille Conter, Owen Bailey, Aaron Martin, it's Will Harris and Adam Campbell. So there we go. And on the bench, Langley, Jarvis, Ward, Hassani, and the new loan signing, Carty. Remember, keep sending their messages. We've had a few come in already. And we've got one here from Colin Dilbo. Can't make the game today. I have sciatica and I'm struggling to walk. So looking forward to the commentary. Well, Colin, we hope you are well soon. And we've got another one here. Craig Hilton has put intensity from the off. Well, let's hope we can get that. But this is what the manager had to say to Gateshead FC TV in the build-up to this game.
Mike, of course, back home this weekend with Southend coming here to the stadium. I mean, obviously, first off the back of last weekend, I suppose, what's the general sort of atmosphere, I mean, been like this week in terms of, in training and just the boys kind of reflecting on that, and obviously yourselves, I suppose, as coaching staff as well?
It's been a positive week. Obviously, really disappointing performance and result. We know that. We've watched it back, and yeah, we've identified where we were poor. This week's been a really positive week of training. It's been tough on the lads, I think, mentally and physically, but we're in a good position now, and we're looking forward to a really good test.
And I suppose, how has it been for yourselves, obviously, as coaching staff? I mean, since you've come in, this is probably the first sort of patch where things haven't quite gone your way. So, I mean, how's it sort of been for you as coaching staff, as opposed to deal with that in itself, I suppose, is a new challenge, really?
Yeah, it is. It's a difficult situation, but for me, it's a case of nothing changes. We work harder. We have to work harder, win, lose or draw. We've got to find solutions, and the lads been in this week, and like I say, we've had a really tough week, and we're ready for Saturday. But on the whole, like you say, we've had sticky starts to the season before, where it's taken a while to find our pattern. This is a different scenario, but there's still the method and the principles don't change. We just keep improving, working harder, everything that we can control. We're trying to maximise our resources from top to bottom, and that's the only thing we can do.
And speaking on Saturday, obviously Southend coming up north, I think they mentioned it was their longest away trip, which I think is the case for a lot of teams coming here in the league. But obviously they're on a good run of form. I think 11 unbeaten maybe at the moment. But how are you looking ahead to that one?
Yeah, they've got a good team, good players, good squad. They've got a way of playing. They're going to be difficult to break down, play five at the back, but they're very compact and organised as well. So, like I say, we've watched them, we've studied them, and we've got to make it tough for them. We've got to make them really feel the journey. Come here, give them nothing physically, tactically, technically. We've got to dominate all of those areas and make sure that everyone's on their game, and we focus on how we're going to hurt them and our game plan. And like I say, nothing changes when we've had these obstacles in our past. We've managed to overcome them, and we're looking forward to doing that tomorrow.
And of course, as well, a boost to the squad in terms of incomings, in a sense. Obviously, Elliot Forbes coming back on loan from Spennymoor, where he's been able to get a bit of consistent game time, which obviously he hasn't quite been able to get for a while through injury. I mean, how much of a positive is it not only to have him back, but have him back on the back of playing for Spenny pretty regularly as well?
Yeah, he's been doing really well, and with Forbesy, he's a local lad. He's a great lad. Boys love having him around, and it's never his ability that's been in question. Like I say, he's just had a difficult period, which everyone goes through in their careers. but he's been mentally tough enough to grind that out over the past couple of seasons, and he's played back to back 90s now, done really well for Spennymoor, and yeah, he comes back in, so it's a massive boost for the lads.
And in terms of injuries, obviously, I think in terms of the longer term ones, obviously Lewis Knight, Robbie Tinkler and Louis Story have been out for a little while. I mean, what's sort of the situation on those three at the moment?
Louis probably closest. He's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, as he always does. He's relentless in everything he does, so we're looking forward to him potentially after Torquay. Tinks won't be too far behind him. He's moving really well. I've seen him go through some grueling sessions, so that's positive. And 90 is just a matter of each week incrementally just trying to get closer to back fitness functionally, really. So yeah, there's no real time span with him.
And on the shorter term front, I think obviously Owen Gallagher came off after 20-25 minutes or so, I think, at Yeovil last week. Obviously Greg missed the game as well. I mean, what's the situation looking like with those two?
Yeah, Gally hasn't trained. I don't think he's far off, but yeah, he won't be involved tomorrow. Greggy the same. He had a tight calf and he found it in training on the Friday. So yeah, wasn't available and isn't still available. But like I say, I don't think it's going to be too far a distant future. I think hopefully maybe another week or so. Obviously spoke to him today. He's chomping at the bit, but we've just got to be sensible with him.
And another boost to the squad as well with Conor Carty coming in on loan today. I mean, how much of a positive is it to get another body in that's going to be, young, hungry, fit into the rest of the squad and obviously improve the options you have available to you as well? Yeah,
it's massive. Like I say, we're trying to maximise our resources in everything we do. He's young, hungry. He's got some ability. He works hard. He's got a good attitude, and we're looking forward to him coming in. He's only trained today, so he'll be on the bench tomorrow. But yeah, we can already see he's got the quality. He's highly thought of, and hopefully, yeah, he can come here, enjoy it, develop, and really contribute to our fight.
Well, that was Mike Williamson there talking to Jack McGragan from Gateshead FC TV. Please do like and subscribe to the Gateshead official channel. You'll get all the news and interviews first there as they come out. And please do like and subscribe to ourselves as well. We are just about to be joined by Greg Ollie. He's making his way up from the tunnel there. He's been in the dressing room. And we'll get you the team news if you're just joining us, and we'll get that with you very, very shortly. The teams are coming out now, and as you can hear behind us, it's a good crowd here in the Tyne and Wear stand, as well as in the away end. There's a great following there, and Gateshead led out by Owen Bailey today, wearing the captain's armband in the absence of the man that is sat next to me, Greg Ollie. But I'll quickly before we speak to Greg, I'll quickly put the teams up on the screen for you. This is how Southend line up this afternoon. It's Colin Andeng ND in goal, Gus Scott Morris, Sean Hobson, Ollie Kensdale, Jack Bridge, Callum Powell, Harry Taylor, the captain Cavan Miley, Wes Fonguk, and Chris Ray and Capel Lapota. I'll get that right. Lapata. And on the bench they've got Nathan Ralph, Lewis Thomas, Dan Mooney, Aaron Crossgrove and Harry Cardale. And for Gateshead, this is how your team lines up this afternoon. In goal, it is James Montgomery. Magnay is in the back with Richardson, Williamson and Pye. Elliot Forbes returns from his loan spell at Spennymoor. Camille Conter, Owen Bailey in midfield with Harris, Martin and Campbell up top. And, joined by Greg Ollie. Greg, it's a pleasure to have you here, but on the injury front, how far are you away from getting back on the pitch?
Hi, mate, yeah.
Right up the lip. There we go.
Hi. Sorry. Yeah, it's frustrating one, but it's just a little niggle. Just a tear in my right calf, but hopefully I'm hoping for Torquay, but that may be too soon, so I think we're looking at all the game after.
Well, fingers crossed we have you back out there, but it's a pleasure to have you with us today. See, we've got not a bad person deputising today in Owen Bailey wearing the captain's armband. So
yep.
hopefully...
Well, he wore it last week, so hopefully it's a bit better luck this week.
Certainly is. And I say, just looking on the Tyne and Wear stand, fantastic as I say, the attendance so far, just in the home end, obviously international break, so to speak, with the World Cup starting this weekend. But looking across the far side, there was 500 pre-sales sold. Looks like there might be about 600 to 700 over there, actually.
Yeah, it's very good to see. Such a long way as well for them all to come. But I'm glad there's a big crowd on our side, and hopefully they can just give us that little edge that we need just to kickstart our season, really.
Well, certainly is. Well, Gateshead in there, grey strips, black shorts, white socks, and Southend all in yellow with a flash of blue. When we're underway, Gateshead are shooting towards River Tyne, and well, Bailey wins the header in midfield. And it's dropped down. It's been collected by Taylor. And Gateshead nearly clear the ball, but it's scooped up and passed forward by Hobson. Mike Williamson wins the header in defence. There's the ball played through, and it's come off Pye for a throw in here on our right-hand side. Well, it's started pretty fast so far.
I think that's what you'll get from Southend. They're going to want to press high, play high, keep the ball in our half. So it's going to be tough, but if we can ride the storm, I think we should be able to hurt them.
Well, Scott Morris has a towel here on the running track here. He's dried the ball. He's going to launch this one into the box towards the penalty spot, but headed clear by Bailey, and it's going to come back out to Scott Morris on the right-hand side, plays it down the line, and comes off Adam Campbell for a throw. There's Wes van Gogh that was holding the ball up there, couldn't see his shirt number. People still making their way into the Tyne and Wear stand. You'll be able to see on the camera as the ball is thrown into the box, comes back out to Scott Morris, who manages to get it in, but into the arms of Montgomery, who looks to get the ball forward, but as Chris Ray was there to block him from throwing it, but Gateshead will build from the back. As the ball comes back to Montgomery, clears the ball up towards Aaron Martin, who nods it inside. As Conter just manages to get it through to Martin, and Martin does well, drives down the right-hand side. He's still going down towards the corner flag, just turns, plays it back and brings Magny into play, who just turns himself and slows it down and gives the ball back to Richardson, in turn to Mike Williamson. So it must be a bit of a relief for the lads that there's more defenders available to play now at the moment.
Yeah, it's probably a different team. It's a very physical team that we put out today. But yeah, defensive-wise, we need to try and keep as many clean sheets. Just give us
Martin wins the header.
License to go forward.
Martin had won a header, nearly got it through to Harris, but it was dispossessed and cleared by the keeper. Martin picks up the ball though, inside the half of Southend, gives it to Magny. Magny just calmly plays it back to Richardson. Now to Mike Williamson. Now Richardson receives it back. Ball over the top, looking for the run of Harris. He's got Laporta there for cover, and he does well to hold it up, plays it down the line. Gets a try to win the ball back, and Magny doesn't quite do it, and it's been cleared now by Southend, but it's going to be picked up midfield, nodded forward by Elliot Forbes. On the edge of the box, has been nodded up in the air. Harris tries to win the header, and now Bailey tries to pick it up in a sea of yellow shirts, but now they can clear it down. Kensdale, left back, played it down the line, and out it goes for a Gateshead throw. Both sides set up a million mile an hour.
Yeah, it's a bit scrappy, but I think we'd like that, a bit of chaos in their box, and I think that's what we thrive on, when we can get it, win the ball higher up and play from there.
Well, 4 minutes gone, still 0-0 if you all just joined us, and I forgot to put the scores up there on the screen. Apologies, everybody. Nope. I'll get them up as Gateshead have the ball in midfield with Conter, plays it back to Pye. Campbell plays it out to Pye, looking for the overlap. Pye's going to get there. Does he keep it in? He doesn't, and out it went for a throw to Southend. Well, I'm starting to see how Gateshead are going to go against the big men at the back, but Martin and Harris are making themselves known in that back four there. It's good to have the options in the aerial battle a little bit higher up the pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to have Aaron starting again. I think that we saw at the start of the season how much of a danger he can be, so hopefully he can continue that.
Well, the ball's back with ND. He's cleared the ball. It's a long punt and it's going to bounce all the way through to Montgomery, who quickly rolls it out to Richardson. Gives it to Magnier, who's hugging the right touchline. Gives it forward to Aaron Martin. Stands up well against Kensdale. Been dispossessed though, but he's still trying to chase to get it back. And Gateshead win the ball back, but Aaron Martin judged to have fouled the Southend player there trying to win it back. Certainly adds a different physical presence up front, does Aaron Martin.
Yeah, he's physical. He likes to get around, but his pressing as well. He gives 100% constantly, which is something that we need.
Gateshead dealt with the ball into the box there. Scott Morris tried to win the header, but Montgomery collects, has the ball in his hands now on the edge of the box, who quickly rolls it out to Pye on the left-hand side, who's closed down, plays it inside to Elliot Forbes, which is great to see back in a Gateshead shirt. He's had an awful couple of seasons with injury, but looks like that loan spell at Spennymoor has got him the minutes in the tank that he needed.
Yeah, it's great to have him back. He's such a good lad in the dressing room. He's our longest serving player, and it's just good to have him back in the Gateshead shirt. Obviously, he has had a tough couple of seasons.
Well, someone's put turn the camera on the pitch. We can't. I'm sorry. We'd get wrong off the National League. But Kensdale receives the ball back there. Magnier leaving a little bit in there after the ball was played, and it's a free kick. Quickly taken down the left-hand side. So come up against Magnier now, running off the ball. Tries to get a good tackle from Carl Magnier there, and he gets to the ball before it goes out as well. Plays it down the line, but straight to a yellow shirt, and Powell played it inside. Now the cross comes in, cleared by Mike Williamson, out of play for a throw halfway inside Gateshead's half on the far side. Well, now we're back in play. Ball comes in from the captain, Miley. Montgomery just scoops that out the air, or plucks it out the air, should I say. Ball quickly distributed, but it's come off the back there, and it's hit the crossbar. It was the ball to Elliot Forbes. It wasn't read well, and there was just a shot to try and lob the keeper, and it hit the crossbar. It just seemed to happen so quickly there, Greg.
Yeah, he's tried to put us on a bit of a counter-attack, but it's a risky one into midfield, and I think sometimes they're given for a foul on the keeper for blocking, but we got away with one there. Well,
Williamson plays the ball back to Montgomery. He's under pressure. Plays it long up towards Harris. Harris does well. There's a physical battle, and Lopata went down. Now Lopata has the ball, driving forward through the centre circle. Harris there to try and win the ball. And had a little bit of a soft free kick. That's what I would say that was. Referees.
Two soft ones in a row, but they can. I can't say much about referees.
Yeah, I think the referee at the moment is not just because he's given them against Gateshead, but he's been a little bit pedantic on where he wanted it took from there. But at the moment, players went down the far side. Offside flag has went up as well. So it's a free kick to Gateshead, level of the box on the right-hand side. Well, there's one thing I will say about the referee. Let's hope he's consistent if he gives those type of fouls for both sides, and then be no complaints.
Yeah, that's all you can hope for.
Well, we're back underway as Montgomery has the ball at his feet, plays it across to Mike Williamson, who's on the right-hand side of the box. Pye shows in front of him, who receives the ball. Pye plays it inside to Campbell, who's dropped deep. Plays a nice ball forward to Bailey. Lovely flick inside. Conter drives forward with the ball. Needs options. The ball was just too heavy for Pye to run onto, and it's going to be seen out for a goal kick. But that was a nice break there. Just unfortunately, the final ball was just a little bit too heavy.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want to play out from the back, and we've worked it well. But just obviously, unfortunately, the final pass let us down. But it's good to see that we're getting in those positions.
Well, and he places the ball down. He's going to take this goal kick. All in purple this afternoon. And D, as Bailey goes up to try and win the header, beaten in the air by Scott Morris. Pye just didn't sit up right for him, and out it goes for a throw to Southend just near the Gateshead dugout. Scott Morris finds Van Gogh as the ball's played forward now. And brought down. Gateshead a little bit scrappy, went out again for a Southend throw. Ball goes inside to Van Gogh. Taylor plays the ball, looking for the run. Scott Morris, but there's Pye to put it out for play for a throw in near the corner flag. 10 minutes gone, 0-0 here. If you're just joining us. Southend just seem to get the ball in the final third a little bit more than what Gateshead have so far. But still all to play for. There's Scott Morris. Now throws the ball to the edge of the box. Aaron Martin was there to collect it and play it forward for Harris to run onto. Harris is all by himself. Martin's busting a gut on the far side to get up into the box to give him options. Harris left hand side of the box, he's still going, and now he's going to lay it off to Campbell. Well done, Harris, there for holding it up. Well done to Aaron Martin for getting it there, but Gateshead still trying to build on the edge of the box as Campbell goes for a curling shot. Oh, just past the post.
Not far away at all.
Wow.
That's the perfect position to get Adam Campbell in. That's where you want him.
It just seemed to take an age to go past the post there. I just thought, is it going to dip into the side of the net there? But Gateshead, the first real chance there.
All comes from us winning on the edge of our own box, and obviously if we can hurt them like that every time, then that's ideal.
Well, goal kick taken. Bounces through to Mike Williamson, who puts it back to whence it came, up towards Harris. Harris beaten in the air. And it's going to bounce in midfield. Magny nods it forward for Aaron Martin to chase onto. Who gets there? Plays it down the line for Conter to run onto, and it's just going to roll out of play. But so we're just starting to find a little bit of space over there at the moment, where just in between the midfield and defence.
Yeah, it's coming into Will's feet and Aaron's feet, and obviously that's how we're going to get up to pitch. So if their final balls can be a little bit better, then we can tidy up and keep the momentum going.
Big thank you to everyone that's messaged in so far. Please do, if you're just joining us, let us know where you're listening from. If there's any Southend fans as well, please do message into the show, interact with us. As Richardson plays the ball across the Pye just inside his own half, but he's under pressure. Plays it back to Montgomery. Montgomery now plays it back to Pye, who's got himself wide on the right-hand side. Now he plays the ball forward, looking for the run of Owen Bailey. Bailey's going to get through, and it just bounced to... Oh! And he just had a little bit of butterfingers there, but he managed just to pass it to a teammate. But Williamson picks it up. Plays the ball to Bailey. Bailey finds Campbell. Ball on the right-hand side of the pitch at the moment, just inside Gateshead's half, and the ball's going to be played all the way back to Montgomery because Campbell was under pressure, but Gateshead still passing the ball well. As Magny receives it in the right back position, and the ball forward didn't find Martin, and unfortunately goes out for a throw into Southend. But starting to see Gateshead look happy in possession at the moment.
Yeah, they're starting to control the ball a bit more. Southend have obviously been on the front foot for the first 5-10 minutes, but we're kind of gaining that the grasp again on the game.
While we wait for this throw on the far side, it's taken short. Martin tussling and battling there to win the ball as Conter gets in front. Now Harris gets it on the break. Can Harris pick out a grey shirt? He turns and runs himself. Puts it out to Conter on the right-hand side. Players getting into the box. Conter needs to put a delivery in here as he plays it to the corner of the box. Put it back and say, Campbell was shot. Oh. Good save by ND, but the ball's going to come back to Bailey. It's not out finished yet. Oh, and the keeper Brave goes to the feet of Harris. It's been cleared, and Gateshead looking dangerous in the final third.
Hopefully we can keep this momentum going.
Throw quickly taken as Magny has the ball, plays it back to Richardson. Played forward. Harris just couldn't hold it up, and it goes all the way through there, but making the keeper work. At the moment, Gateshead very much in this game. Southend haven't lost since mid-September, and Gateshead are mixing it with them at the moment. But Scott Morris has the ball on the edge of the box, plays it forward. He's going to get the ball back, puts a cross in towards the far post, but there's Montgomery just to pluck it out the air. Seemed to hang up in the air a little bit longer than he wanted there for Scott Morris, but you've got to fear that man. He seems to be quite instrumental, very much like our Robbie Tinkler when we've got him in the team. he gets up that right hand side, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's the cross is a bit better. There's a couple of bodies in the box as well, so have to be careful.
Well, Martin goes up in the air to try and win that, bounces through for a throw in to Southend. And if there's any Southend fans just joining us, there's a fantastic away travelling following for Southend. There must be 600 at least, if not more. So well done to every single one of them coming up and supporting the team. It's a long journey. But Martin plays it inside to Campbell. Campbell lays it off to Bailey. Bailey finds Pye. It's been quickly closed down though. Puts the ball down the left-hand side. The ball stayed in, and it's gonna be cleared. No, he's seen it out. Hobson had Harris coming over, but the ball had enough legs to roll out there for a goal kick. Opata plays the ball out to the left-hand side, brought down well. Magny's there to try and block the run, but a cut inside of Southend and going for a shot, and Montgomery makes a save. It's been cleared by Bailey, only as far as the edge of the box. Out to Scott Morris here on the right-hand side of the box. Pye's there for company. Back to Scott Morris. Now they look to get this in as Hobson lofts the ball into the far side of the box. There's nobody there, and it's going to roll out for a throw-in on the far side. And thankfully that delivery wasn't the greatest.
No, he had no pressure on him either, so he probably could have done better with that. Again, just a long ball from the defender, finds the chest of their man, and he gets a good shot on goal. So the threat is there, and you can see why they've been unbeaten in 11.
Well, still awaiting this throw to be taken on the far side as Magny gets it up to Aaron Martin, who flicks it on, comes back to him, nods it forward, falls back to Martin. Seems to be in the right place at the right time, but just dispossessed there. But there's Bailey to play the ball forward. Would have been a nice break, but just too much on that through to Ndeng D, who's in the Southend goal. Twisting and turning on the far side as Gateshead quickly closed down, makes Southend play the ball backwards. Ball comes across now to Sean Hobson. Now he plays the ball forward, looking for the run. The number 11, Powell, up against Mike Williamson, twisting and turn, has to turn, cuts inside, plays it to the edge of the box, and now Captain Miley has the ball, drives into the box, put it across, and it was Ray that was coming in there. It was a good cross into the box, no one to get it, but danger's not over yet. They're coming in from the left-hand side, down to the dead ball line, and headed away by Gateshead, and that's going to bounce out for a throw on the far side. And so just starting to turn the screw a little bit, Southend.
Yeah, that's where they want Powell in the channel 1v1 against one of our centre-halves.
The ball comes in this time. Scott Morris was there, bounces over him, and that's going to be kept in by Scott Morris. He got across there. Got past Bailey, plays it inside. Now Hobson has the ball. He's got Scott Morris for company. Uses him now. He's going to try and whip a ball in here from the right-hand side. Falls to Bailey, gets a clear at second time of asking. And Gateshead clear their lines and push higher up the pitch. It's a throw in here halfway inside the Southend half on our left-hand side. Rapata plays it back to Ndeng D. And they're happy to play it around the back at the moment, Southend, but now they carry the ball forward, looking for the run of Powell. It's quickly closed down, and the ball goes into the centre towards Ray. Ray plays it to Powell. Powell run into two grey shirts, and the ball falls to Scott Morris, who puts a cross in there and cleared by Gateshead as Conter can try and hold this ball up. He's under pressure from behind. Gives it to Elliot Forbes, who clears the ball, but it falls to a yellow shirt in Kensdale. And Captain Miley receives the ball, plays it down the left-hand side. Southend trying to open and run, played it inside, and Gateshead managed to come away with the ball through Kenton Richardson, puts it up towards the halfway line, but Hobson's there to calmly play it to the Captain Miley. And they're sitting quite high up the pitch at the moment, Southend. They're enjoying a good spell of possession.
Yeah, they're having a good spell here. The pressure, we can't seem to get our foot on the ball like we were 10 minutes ago.
Campbell, good pressure on Hobson there, makes him play the ball backwards. And Ndeng D clears the ball up over the halfway line. Mike Williamson against Powell. There was only going to be one winner in that height battle. As where it falls to a yellow shirt again. Hobson plays a crossfield ball. Good vision. And now try and drive in. Gets past Magne. Cross comes in straight into the ankles of Richardson, who clears the ball. But the ball was poor to Martin, intercepted, and now another opportunity to whip the ball in the box. This time it comes in right-footed from the left-hand side. Montgomery fits it clear, and Gateshead can breathe a sigh of relief. 20 minutes gone, 0-0 at the moment, but Southend just starting to dominate in the possession stakes.
Yeah, they're up in the ante a little bit. We can't seem to get out of our own half, and obviously hopefully that needs to change, or the pressure will start to tell.
Well, Scott Morris plays the ball to Thonguk, and it's cross in. Is it the near post where Montgomery just scoops it up and allows his team to get higher up the pitch before he distributes it. Remember, please do like and subscribe. Help us reach more people. Help with the algorithm on YouTube. And hopefully we can reach more away fans on a match day when they're looking for commentary. And obviously find more Gateshead fans as Campbell nods the ball inside. Didn't find a grey shirt, but the ball goes out to play for a Gateshead throw right in front of Ian Watson on the dugout. Quickly taken. Mike Williamson receives the ball. Pye back to Williamson. They've got quite a high press from the front, Southend. Very similar to ourselves as the ball goes forward on the halfway line. Harris plays the ball forward and Bailey's onside, but he's not going to get there in front of
The keeper, what's he doing?
And
that's dangerous play from the keeper, not Owen.
Yeah,
He just dived head first at Owen instead of going with his hands.
It was a strange one. I thought he would have slid and just collected that, but he went in a weird... As I say, it was dangerous for himself more than anything else.
He's tried to get Owen look like a foul against him.
Yeah, well, the referee, I think Hobson's coming over to try and talk about it. He's been told to go away. We'll see what happens here, but I'd be shocked if there's a booking for either player, but Andeng and D, strange bit of goalkeeping there.
If that was an outfield player, the rule is you're not allowed to go and try and head the ball when it's on the floor, and it looked like he dove head first towards it. Obviously, Owen was just trying to get the ball himself, so it made it look.
It's going to be a drop ball here, so it's obviously just a case of concentrate on what you're doing, lads. Well, we're back underway. Lopata plays it to Kensdale. Back to the keeper, who now pings the ball up towards Powell, but Mike Williamson's there, wins the header. Gateshead, can they pick up the second ball? Just dispossessed as Powell plays it forward there. The offside is going to go up there, the flag. Well, he was definitely running for the ball. The flag could have went up earlier, but the rules they change every season.
He's just waiting for the AR, obviously.
Be someone with the phone at this level. As Conter gets the ball in midfield, lays it off to Magne. Right hand side, plays it inside to Elliot Forbes, who does well to keep the ball moving, gets it to Mike Williamson. Cross to Ethan Pye. The youngster on loan from Stockport County this season, plays it inside to Harris. Harris holds the ball up well, gets the ball, tries to thread it through to Campbell, but Scott Morris read it well. And more positive signs from Gateshead trying to find the space inside the Southend half. We have a throw here on... supposedly the ball went out 40 yards up the pitch.
But that's good, better this evening, guys. So we rode that spell of 5-10 minutes from Southend and going back into the game, which hasn't been the case this season. We might have maybe given them a goal at that point, but it's good to see that it's defensively a lot more solid today.
Harris got the ball, received it from Martin, but the flick on Conter couldn't get to, and it's been cleared by Southend and got past Magnier there, and he's driving forward with the ball. Ray's coming into the centre, but the ball goes out for a corner there. It was Van Gook that ran forward. Corner to Southend, and just seemed to skip past Magnier there. He had the momentum, didn't he, in the way the ball bounced for him, but dangerous on the break there, Southend. Have to watch that.
I think I saw about 4 or 5 of their players flooding to try and get up with him, so it's obviously something that they've worked on or they're looking for.
Yeah, Van Gook very happy with the ball at his feet. It just seemed to stick to him there. But in comes the corner from the far side. In it comes near towards the 6-yard box. Been headed clear, though, by Magnier. Falls to Campbell, though. Campbell plays it across to Richardson, who carries it forward down left-hand side. Plays the ball forward, looking for the run of Harris.
Unlucky.
Oh, and Laporta was just in the right place at the right time to stop that coming through. And he broke it up well. But now the captain, Miley, drives forward with the ball, plays it out to Powell on the right-hand side. Powell comes up against Richardson. Scott Morris is there for support, who he lays it off to. He now does a little bit of trickery, gets past Richardson, and he goes down. Well, went down a few times, but the referee says no. Powell picks it up on the edge of the box, is central now, and he has to play it back. And Kensdale lays it forward to Ray. Ray manages to keep it moving towards the yellow shirt, and on the far side, and still passing the ball around. But Bridge receives the ball. He's looked quite dangerous on the left-hand side when he's had the ball at his feet, as Miley drives forward down left-hand side of the box, crosses it in. Now Gator can try and clear it. Harris couldn't get in front of Laporta. Now Bridge gets the ball. Magnier brought him down, and I think this could be a yellow card here for Magnier. Bridge was getting away from him, and it's the first yellow of the game. 27 minutes gone. It's still 0-0, but Southend have a free kick in a dangerous part of the pitch, the left-hand side of the box, about 5-10 yards back, and we'll see if they can whip this in.
They've looked very dangerous down that side, haven't they?
Yeah.
Especially is a Bridge.
I think a Bridge, yeah.
And their captain seems to be very comfortable on the ball, driving and picking passes.
Well, they've committed a lot of men forward here. There's only a few yellow shirts outside the box. They're all just outside the 6-yard box. I think this is going to come in fast and low. Two-man wall in Conter and Campbell there. Harris is on the edge of the box to try and pick up any balls that get flicked out. In it comes, it's low, and it's been headed on by Scott Morris there, and he got a free header away. I just don't think he realised where he was to guide it forward towards goal, but goal kick quickly taken. Conter picks up the second ball in midfield. He's just in the centre circle, plays it across the pie. This is more positive from Gates, so they need to get players forward from support. Ball played back to Bailey. Bailey plays it behind Ray there to Elliot Forbes. And it's played back to Mike Williamson. Pie from here on the left-hand side. Plays it back to Montgomery, though. Long ball up towards Aaron Martin, beaten to the ball by Kensdale. And Ray starting to drop a little bit deeper to get a bit of the ball there as he makes his way back up to the top, as the ball's with the defence at the moment for Southend. Keeper clears it all the way back up towards where Ray was. Richardson wins the header. Headed forward again, but Hobson's going to be there to control it.
Pressure by Adam again.
Campbell chasing down D, but clears the ball up over the halfway line. Mike Williamson's there, wins the header above Powell again, but it falls to the captain, Miley. Miley plays it to Scott Morris. Now ball forward, and Powell ran into Mike Williamson and goes down, appeals for a foul, none given. Mike Williamson plays the ball through the centre there. Oh, and the defender didn't get there, and the ball goes all the way through to Ndai in the Southend goal, and just get a little bit tasty. I think Powell's getting frustrated with the service that's coming to him because the balls have all been above his head.
Yeah, he likes it to his feet. He's very dangerous.
And on the far side, offside flag goes up.
But yeah, we played against him last year when he was at Kettering, one of the first games of the season, and he caused us a few problems that day as well. So he is a very good player. He's probably their main danger.
Well, I'd say we are 30 minutes into the first half here, And it's 0-0 at the moment. Very open game. Both teams having their spells of possession. You'd say Southend maybe just on top in the stats, but Gateshead still very much in this game and looking to probe in the final third as Bailey doesn't win the header, but the ball goes out for a throw to Gateshead just near the Southend dugout. Well, Pye. He's looking for movement. He wants a target to throw this ball to. Still not taken yet. Now he gets it into the middle, right into Aaron Martin, who dances past two players, lays the ball off the counter that was just next to him, played it back to Richardson. Gateshead still in possession, but they've moved further back and all the way back to Montgomery. This is ball cleared up by Montgomery to Pye. Pye nods it forward. It's bounced out of play. But that regimented Southend defence there, just when the ball was kicked forward, there was a yellow line. It was a solid, straight line as well, wasn't it? They were back in position straight away.
Yeah, you can tell they're very structured and solid. Even when the ball goes back to Money, they're all together. But I don't mind that going back to Money. It kind of takes the sting out of the game a little bit.
Yeah. No. This Reid goes up to try and win it. Ball played forward though. Now Powell chasing down Williamson, who clears the ball out. No nonsense. Throw in halfway inside Gateshead's half here on the right hand side as Scott Morris uses the towel to dry the ball. Well, now he takes it. Van Gook plays it off Campbell, though. Campbell threaded it past him, just with no grey shirt there for him to find, as Scott Morris uncharacteristically didn't get a good first touch. Then the ball goes out for a throw into Gateshead halfway inside their own half.
I think we're relatively happy at this point. I think we'd like to maybe threaten their goal maybe a couple of more times, but so far it's been pretty stagnant.
Yeah, I mean, for a team that's on a hell of a run like Southend are and up that high in the table, we've looked okay against them at the moment. We could even look better here as Bailey tried to thread a ball through and just picked the wrong option there. Conta was coming on the shoulder of a Southend defender there on the far side, and he tried to put it through the near side. Well, Gateshead pressing from the front here, and Pye gets the ball. Oh, Hobson just gets past him. Pye and Hobson battling here. Good work from Pye, and Pye wins the free kick as Hobson pulled on the shirt. And that was good stuff from the number 3 there for Gateshead. Didn't give up, didn't give a foul away, and wins a foul for his troubles.
I think he's improved with every game he's played for Gateshead, to be honest. He had a good loan last year with Spennymoor, and I think he's took it up another level this year.
I think people forget how young he is as well.
He's only 19, it's just crazy.
And away from home, living away from home and, having to put the performances in. He's doing it. He doesn't hide either on the pitch.
No, he's been put into in the centre half, and he's just took that role on so well.
Conta does well, plays the ball back to Richardson. Now across to Mike Williamson. Oh, lovely footwork from Williamson there, rolling back the years, but unfortunately the follow-up pass goes straight out there for a throw to Southend. Well, the referee isn't happy with someone on the bench, and someone's going to get a yellow card here, and I think it's Ian Watson has received a yellow card.
Just kicked the ball past the thrower and obviously trying to waste a bit of time as they were looking quite dangerous, so maybe not the worst yellow card to take.
I hope there's a captain. He gets a fine for that, does he?
I don't know, because I've had 5 of them. So.
Oh yeah, well yeah. We'll best not cast aspersions. No. There's the ball is in the box there. Oh, and it bounces through to Montgomery, and nobody there in a yellow shirt.
Chance to break on them.
Gateshead quickly break down the right-hand side. Have to slow it down a little bit. As Magnay, does he get the ball back? He gets the ball forward and wins a throw-in. Did well, quickly throws it forward for Harris to chase onto, but Laporta got there and clears the ball. Another throw higher up the pitch. Right. Magnay receives the ball, ready to throw. Forbes gives it back to Magnay. Conta turns, Plays it to Bailey. Bailey's got Campbell in space if he wants to, but he drives forward himself with the ball. Lays it back to Pye. Campbell shows in the middle, receives the ball. Campbell quickly closed down though, but plays it back to Mike Williamson, his own half, who pings the ball forward to Pye, brings it down well. Campbell in midfield, plays it forward to Bailey. Bailey tries to thread it through, still got the ball though, gets it through to Aaron Martin somehow. Now he lays it off to Pye. Pye puts the delivery in, there's nobody there on the far side. That was a lovely delivery, just nobody was there. But Conta chasing it down, and they can try and build forward now, Southend, but Ray has to come back, and Magne gives away another foul there. I think he's frustrated with that one. But Southend get the ball back moving. The Patter plays it across to Kensdale. Now the captain Miley on the left-hand side plays the ball forward, finds Bridge. Bridge hugging the touchline on the left-hand side, drives forward towards Magne. Conta comes back to help. Bridge has to go back, and now it's placed to Van Gogh on the far side. He's up against Magne. He's dribbling the ball into the box, sits down at the dead ball line, tries to cut it back, wins a corner on the far side. And Magne just stood solid there, didn't he? Nothing silly.
Yeah, much better defending from him rather than diving in. Could do with a bit of help on that side though, because they're being very threatening.
And Bridge has got a few tricks in his pocket to try and get past somebody, and you fear if he gets another foul and he's near the last man. But the ball comes in. Magne heads it clear. It's going to land on the edge of the box, and it's going to fall to Miley. Miley puts it across here to Hobson. Hobson trying to do some trickery and get past Kenton Richardson, but he stands firm, does some step overs himself, and wins it.
What? He's giving a corner.
How's he given a corner there? Unless it clipped him on the way out, but
Kim didn't even argue too much.
no. Look, Captain Miley comes over to take this corner here on our right-hand side. As we await this delivery in, players still crowding around in the 6-yard box. It goes deep this time. Bounces. Can Gateshead clear it? Oh, and a back heel there, but Montgomery can get down to his right-hand side. And it was a scrappy attempt, but as I say, Gateshead did enough to block anyone from getting a proper shot off.
They're quite dangerous, them back heels, when it's all crowded like that. One little nick and it's...
Don't know where it's going to go, but Montgomery got down. Well, ball's on the ground. Montgomery now plays it to Richardson, who played it to Pye. It's intercepted. Mike Williamson gets the ball back. Gateshead need to stay more switched on at the back. Can't have any passing like that as Magne clears the ball down the right-hand side, and Harris gets there in front of Lapata. Can he back heel it? Oh, and straight into the feet of the Southend defender, and now they can clear it as he drives forward with the ball. Lapata, he's going to look to keep the ball moving, try to go into too many shirts, and
good pressure from tracking back from Aaron as well.
Gateshead win a throw just inside the Southend half on the far side. As I say, we're into the 38th minute here, and Gateshead still 0-0 against High Fly in Southend. As Montgomery's under pressure from Ray. Ball cleared, falls to the feet of Miley. Miley puts it out to Powell, who's on the left-hand side now. He's trying to get the ball in, goes for a shot, and puts it across goal. And Scott Morris is frustrated. He didn't get there anywhere near to get a touch on it, and out it goes for a throw integrated here at the corner flag on our right-hand side.
Bit loose clearance from Monty there, but again, down that left-hand side, they've looked really threatening, but I think he put the ball in slightly too early and they couldn't quite get on the end of it.
Well, Pye is going to take a long throw here up towards Harris. Harris wins the header, lobs it on, and Martin is getting held back there. Richardson heads the ball forward to clear it, but it's going to fall to Miley. Miley puts it out to the right-hand side. Ray is going to be there to get it here. Plays it back to Scott Morris. Plays it inside now. Scott Morris gets it back. Ball played forward, looking for Taylor, not Naylor. But the balls went out for a throw to Southend here near the corner flag. And at the moment, we're just starting to see Southend just get that little bit of possession back. And there we go, throw taken. Powell on the dead ball line, twists and turns and goes down. Nothing given by the referee. It's a goal kick to Gateshead. And he really is a menace, Powell, isn't he? Just even when he's off the ball, he's getting himself into them areas and making it where you could collide with him and give away a penalty.
Yeah, I think that's what he wants. He wants to get you 1v1 at any given point, and he is wriggly. He can get out of situations.
Oh, we wait this goal kick as Montgomery now fires it up towards Magne. Magne loses out in the aerial battle, but it's going to go out for a Gateshead throw just on the halfway line. Magne now gets it to Conter. Back to Magne. Magne plays a ball forward to Harris, who laid it off. Nice dummy from Martin to get it to Bailey. And now Conter can drive forward with the ball. He dances past 2 or 3. Now Harris is on the edge of the box, tries to pull it across. And it's a corner given. Appeals for the handball. Oh, just a pity that ball couldn't have got through to Martin. He was in space on the edge of the 6-yard box. But that's better. That's what we want to see.
Nice footwork from Camille there, and he slips well in. Obviously a better touch, and I think he has a shot on goal.
Definitely a player that's grown in his own confidence since coming on loan from Middlesbrough. Scored a decent goal against Stevenage as well.
Yeah, I'd love to see some more of that.
Well, in comes the corner here, and it's going to bounce as Ray can clear it only as far as Campbell. Campbell brings it down well, goes for a shot himself. Deflection goes out, another appeal for a penalty. Mike Williamson can't believe it, but it's another corner on the far side. Well, Camille gets the ball in position, ready to take this corner. In comes the delivery now. Bailey's coming in. Oh, the keeper just manages to get a finger to it. And now Miley can break with the ball. Goes up against Campbell. Campbell wipes him out. He just runs into him. It was a professional block. Surprised it's a yellow, really, because he hasn't really been involved in any other incidents. But
well, the ball looked like it was going out for a throw into us, so it's probably not worth it to give yellow, especially in their half.
But if you're for Southend persuasion, you'd probably think it was a deserved one. 3 minutes left in the first half here. Can't see there being many stoppages. Hasn't been that type of game. As Miley plays it across to Kensdale. He's sitting very deep at the moment. Now drives forward. If it plays a ball across to Scott Morris, who's in acres of space, but Pye gets it back to Montgomery and athletically keeps it in. Thought he was just going to slide out there with the wet grass.
Yeah. But again, it is Miley. I can't see an armband that he's got on, but he's very, very comfortable on the ball and looks to be their playmaker.
Almost like a quarterback there, the way he went back and got it, didn't he? And just pinged it forward as Bailey's beaten in the air, falls to Van Gook. Now Taylor plays it across to Kensdale. As Campbell tries to close down, but they're paid off because it falls to a Gateshead shirt. Aaron Martin has the ball. He's got Campbell on the right-hand side who's going to chase this down. Kensdale comes over to try and do something, wins the corner. Well played by...
The pass is a little bit better, though. He's 1v1 with his man.
Good intelligence by Campbell there. He knew he wasn't going to be able to really get past him, play it off him, get the corner. We've got another opportunity to get the ball in the box. And what a time this would be to grab a goal. We're a minute and a half from a half-time whistle here.
I mean, there's only ever a good time to score a goal, but you'd love one just before going into half-time.
Changes the team talk slightly, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, Conter, I'll take this one. Lofted up there. The big men are up there, and Deng and D just plucked that out the air there in a group of people. And Hobson plays the ball forward. It's deflected. It's been picked up, though, by Bridge. And well done from Kent Richardson. Read the ball well. And say they averted the danger of that attack, but they're wanting to get this ball moving quickly, Southend, as Scott Morris has the ball in his hands already. He's abandoned the towel and he's just using his shirt now. 40 seconds of normal time remain. The fourth official does have the board in his hands, but will concentrate on the ball at the moment. Lofted in there, headed clear by Elliot Forbes. Comes back out to Scott Morris. Scott Morris controls it. Well done from Campbell. Gets his body in the way. And now can Gateshead clear this ball as Campbell brings it down, but he's lost it to Powell in the box. Powell couldn't control it, but Gateshead need to get this ball out. And it's going to fall back to Scott Morris, who puts it across the far side. Montgomery just picks it out. And, well, you would have preferred a firm boot to get rid of that one, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh, no.
There's a slip there from Forbes, gives it to Ray. Ray is driving into the box, and there was Richardson just to poke it out on the attack, and it's corner on the far side. And now we're out to see how long is on. 1 minute added on. I think that's fair. I think there was one stoppage.
I think that's where we can just be a bit more street smart and knowing it's close to half time and we're throwing the ball out to Elliot there that it really doesn't need to be, and we can kind of just kill it until half time.
Well, this delivery comes in there, headed clear though with some venom from Magne, but it's fell to a yellow shirt, and I think it's Bridge now on the far side on Miley, but it's going to go out for another corner. It was Bridge. He goes to collect the ball again. Well, Bridge looks to put another dangerous delivery into the box. We're into that added on minute now. He's went short to the front. Now Bridge lofts it up towards Miley on the edge of the box. Heads the ball. Who's going well wide. Cleared by Gateshead. Ball still not completely out of danger yet. The referee hasn't blew his whistle. Was surely a minute into it. There we go. There's the half-time whistle. And Gateshead going 0-0 at half-time with Southend United. And Greg, just for let you go, because I'm sure you're going back down to the change room. A solid performance by Gateshead. Yes, they've got in the final third a few times, but we've dealt with it.
Yeah, I think we've obviously done well to ride a couple of waves of pressure from them, different points in that half. And I think we'll be glad to get into half time 0-0. And we have threatened their goal and had one of the better chances with Adam. And then, so yeah, we'll be happy with that, and we'll regroup, get our energy, and we'll come out for the second half. Hopefully, we'll get an early goal and try and kill the game off.
Certainly. Thank you very much, Greg, for your first half, and we'll see him back in the second half. We're going to play a highlight from the Heat Army podcast. You've probably seen it before you've watched this game. We need to change, I know, but we'll be back with this when it's coming up for the second half.
Yes, always give the podcast one more share. We're joined by our guest, Paul. How are you doing, Paul?
Evening, chaps. You all right?
Yeah, fantastic. Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, all good. Yeah.
Oh, good. You always fear when we have a guest come on. Sometimes the link isn't the greatest, but
it's nice to see a fella Baldy come. Look at that. Get in. You're like me. You've got more hair on your chin than on your head.
They say I should turn my head upside down.
Yeah.
I've been told that a few times, to be fair, Paul.
You've been told to have your head a shake, Mickey. Paul, obviously we've got the game coming up on Saturday. How's the season started for yourselves?
Unbelievably well, as you sort of alluded to just a few moments ago. Way beyond the expectation, I think, of any Wealdstone fan, especially after seeing pre-season. It was slightly underwhelming. There was, you always get the try list, and we're never sure who the management team are going to sign on. We lost the 2 or 3 more influential players from last season, where we finished 16th. So unbelievable. 3 wins out of 4. The 3 wins that we have actually got are probably against the 3 stronger teams on paper, having lost to Eastleigh. So listen, we're not silly. We're only a sort of 1 defeat away from possibly a bad run, that sort of thing. But we'll take it. 3 out of 4 and sort of second in the league at this time is unbelievable.
It's not a bad way to start.
You haven't got your championship button up already.
No. Listen, we're very. we're very realistic. We punch above our weight. We have done for this is our third season now in the National League, and we survived the first two. Did very well last season. No, it's 9 points towards safety. I think more than 9 points towards getting in the playoffs in League Two.
Yeah, I think we're probably the same. Just want to get as many points on the board as possible.
Yeah,
Oh, without a doubt. I think when you look at Wealdstone and what may hinder them going forward is the strength and depth in the squad. So if we can pick up as many points as we can whilst we're playing well, and the team are obviously doing very well, you hope you might pick up a few loan deals off the back of that, and let other players want to come and join if we're looking to sign others. So I think strength in depth is going to be probably something that will go against us. So by getting these points on the board is really going to help sort of getting into those stickier, colder, more difficult months, in and around and after Christmas.
Definitely, it's always the thing, isn't it? You don't want to get into a bad run of form when it's bad weather and travelling and horrible dark nights. It's never the greatest. But are Wealdstone full time, or are you one of the few part time outfits?
No, we have one full time employee at the football club who is a chap that runs the club on a day-to-day basis on the non-footballing side.
Yeah.
The whole footballing operation is part-time. Our manager, Stuart Maynard, is actually a BT engineer, and he doesn't work on a Tuesday because he commits his time to Wealdstone on a Tuesday, and they train on traditionally as they used to in non-league on a Tuesday and Thursday. I think the strength and conditioning coach Rachel, she looks after them on a Monday sort of via a Zoom meeting and that sort of thing. So I mean, listen, they're doing extremely well. Gone are the days where you are, as Oldham fans suggested, they're plasterers and plumbers and farmers, but
I think everyone knows about nutrition and fitness now.
Yeah.
It's in general day-to-day life, let alone athletes, and most of these players have been at bigger clubs, haven't they, or been involved at some point, so they look after themselves.
And these lads are footballers. They just happen. I think the biggest thing that we don't get as a football team, as a squad, I guess, is the contact time with the management. Not doing 4 or 5 hours a day on the training field. They're doing 4 or 5 hours a week. But they're all. I think we've probably got 2 or 3 that maybe have other jobs, but I think mainly football is their main focus. So we're lucky in that sense. And I guess us and maybe Dorking. I know you mentioned Dorking moments ago, and Maidenhead could be either they try and cherry pick the best part-time footballers that the country can offer, and we certainly got some in Jack Cook and Max Kretschmar come in and done extremely well.
Yeah, it's always a challenge. I mean, obviously we're still full time, which I didn't expect when we got demoted, but not by our own doing, of course. But it's one of them leagues where you do notice it is harder to compete against the full-time sides, isn't it?
Oh yeah, without that. And the thing was, when we came into it 3 seasons ago, we didn't have the setup we even have now, and it's those small steps to non-national league safety and national league status. 3 seasons ago, we were recruiting lads from the Ryman's Premier Division, some National League South teams. Now we're able to recruit National League standard players, those lads that have experience of the league, and I think that's where the biggest difference has come in the last 3 years is the recruitment, because we've stayed in the league, because we play the type of football and brand of football we do. Everything has helped come, be better.
Mm-hmm. Well, just on that, we've got a question. Paul, what are the Wealdstone tactics for coming to the game? I don't know if you want to skip all that away, but do you hold the midfield, or do you press up front straight away? What kind of football do Wealdstone play?
No, Wealdstone very much play a possession-based game. They play out of the back. They get caught a few times. Teams that do press easily, I think, very much were one that put the press on, whereas these bigger sort of ex-league teams and the bigger teams tend to sort of sit off, and we can play through the lines that little bit. But we certainly do play very, very good possession-based football. We try and get on the front foot, try and load on the wings and out wide, and sometimes outgun teams. We're not particularly big, we're not particularly aggressive. And there's a lot of people sort of say the National League you need 6 foot giant. You wait till you play Woking. They're about I think the average height is about 6'2", right? So we haven't got that. We got a few bigger lads, but we're quick, small, young, and have a desire to want to sort of get forward and play attacking football.
Well, I think it sounds exactly like with the conversation we had last week. Very similar to what the way Gateshead play, yeah. So
I think it's probably very much the same. Very much the same. I think that's how we won the National League South a few years ago. That's how Dorking have gone up. So we've got our management team in Stewie and Matt. They've stuck to their principles over the last 1.5-2 years they've been in charge. I don't think they'll ever change. The benefit of that is it's almost like a little bit like academy football. So we've had good experience with loaning academy lads who've come in, and it's done them the world of good. A few of them are playing in the EFL Cup tonight who were with us last year, because we play a good brand of football, and these non sort of lower league EFL teams want their youngsters to come and play with us. So you should see an attractive game with Wealdstone. It can sometimes be frustrating and boring because they keep the ball that little bit too much if the fans are being honest at times, but it works. On the whole, it works, and clearly 9 out of 12 points, it's showing that it's working.
Certainly is.
Hello, there we go. We're back. We're back. Apologies, everybody. I don't know what happened there. I've been giving it the big one here, and apparently the sound was off. So we are back. Could you let us know if the sound is back on? We believe it is. We're back underway here in the second half. Still 0-0. Only a minute and a half played. And oh, hello there. As we've got Arvid the Viking is over from Norway. Good to see you. And didn't know he was here. So there we go. Lovely to have Arvid. He's normally listening in, but Gates on the break on the left-hand side. The cross comes in towards Aaron Morton. Can he get a header off over the bar? And I tell you what, the Southend defence, they're not happy with the players higher up the pitch there. And we're on. Apologies for that. Don't know what happened, but the audio went off. It wasn't our fault. But we're into the 48th minute. Gateshead starting the second half on the attack there. Well, and Dangan D places the ball down. Takes the kick up towards where Mike Williamson is. Ball's headed on by Ray, and the ball's going to bounce through to Montgomery. Powell making a pest of himself there in amongst the defenders. He went down appealing for a free kick. Montgomery, the clearance up towards the halfway line. Bailey wins the header, but it bounces through to Miley, who passes it to a teammate. Now played over the top, looking for the run of Powell. Mike Williamson's there. Can he get in front of him? Powell just gets in front of him, but he does well. Williamson stands his ground, wins the ball back. Nice bit of footwork, and then played down the line, but unfortunately goes out for a throw. But Powell showing what he can do with that pace when he can open up.
Yeah, I think they're just looking for that. I think that must have spoken at half time again, just trying to get him the ball down the side.
We've got the throw on the far side. Scott Morris with the ball in his hand right in front of the travelling away fans. Ball launched into the box. It's back headed over, though. It's going to fall. Oh, and fantastic. Kent Richardson was there just to poke it away. But Powell, he must have thought his dreams had come true there. All he had to do was poke it in the back of the net if it had got to him.
It's a big chance to try to take a touch rather than hitting the first time, and just managed to get away from him. Kenton's done well to defend that.
Bridge takes the throw, gets it to Ray. Ray stand up, manages to play it in, cleared by Mike Williamson. And Southend looking to build on this as they quickly take, well, look like they're going to quickly take the throw as Bridge takes authority over Miley. It's going to take this throw into the 50th minute. Once again, apologies for the audio going off there as we came back out to the second half. You missed some fantastic banter from myself when I was talking to myself. But Magnier gets the ball up to Martin. Lovely control to bring the ball down with pressure from behind. Plays the ball down the line. Does the ball go out? It did, and it's a throw into Southend. But lovely strength and control from Martin there. It's a greasy service. It has been raining at half-time for about 10 minutes. It's slick out there as Ray plays the ball through for Van Gook. And can he keep it in? He can, but only for Magnier to clear the ball. As Harris does well to get in front of the Southend defender who nods it out for a throw to Gateshead. Magnier trots up the line to take this throw. There's a fourth official telling him not to steal any more yards. Aaron Martin shows, so does Conter. Conter has the control, plays it back to Elliot Forbes, who played across to Mike Williamson. Ball slips underneath his foot, but he still controls it. Plays the ball up towards Campbell. Campbell brings it down. Pye plays it inside. Elliot Forbes does well. Pye gets it to Conter in the centre circle. Now he can drive forward. There's a line of yellows, goes for a long shot.
Shot is in! What a goal again, Cam!
Conter! You beauty! What a strike! The defenders were running back. They had the attackers on their shoulders. He didn't care. He only had one thing on his mind, and that was to shoot. And when you can finish like that, why not?
Just what we needed again. Some nice build-up play from Elliot Forbes and Ethan Pye, and we managed to get it out of Cam. And I think there was only one thing on his mind after Stevenage. He's going to have another shot, and it's another great strike. Same corner.
Well, as he ran towards the defence there was just a line. They were concentrating on the defenders. He had too much space, and he got enough time just to get on top of that ball sweetly and poke it into the back of the net, smash it into the back of the net from about 25 yards, if not more.
Yeah, it's definitely not a poke. It's a very, very well struck shot. Keeper could really do nothing, especially with the slippy surface.
Well, I did mention that it had been raining. It is a slick surface off there, and the keeper will probably be quite disappointed with that, but Camille Conter won't be. We're back underway. Ball played across to the right-hand side, and ball bounces out to play for a throw into Gateshead near the corner flag. But what a start to the second half.
Looks like they're making a change straight away as well. Bringing on
Harry Cardwell, familiar to Gateshead over the years. When the COVID season happened, he helped put us out the FA Cup for Chorley. They went on to have a fantastic run that season. And very strong physical presence. But Gateshead on the attack now as Conter drives past one player. He's got Harris in front of him. He threads it through. Can Harris get a shot off? Oh, it just nicked off his toes. But that's more positive from Gateshead. They're playing on the front foot. Magny lofts the ball over for Morton to chase onto as Kendale gets there in front of him, and he's going to play this down the line. But Gateshead, can they pick up the ball again? They can. It's headed forward. Oh, lovely brought down by Morton. Lays it off to Elliot Forbes, whose ball went through straight to the keeper. But so we're starting to play with spring in our step here at the moment.
I was unlucky. I think Wills obviously tried to come back inside, but he had a free shot, but some good defending, to be honest. Just kind of shut the door on Will.
Well, now there's Van Gook plays the ball across the box. There's Montgomery just to get it. There was Powell coming in behind him, but the delivery wasn't great. Keepers all day, and he's just going to slow it down here. Montgomery, use his experience. Let Gateshead get back into position fully before he lets go of this ball. Well, ball ruled out to Pye, who plays it back to Montgomery. Cardwell still waiting, bouncing up and down on the touchline, waiting for the substitution to happen, but the ball's still in play. As the clearance goes up towards Harris. Harris getting tugged there as Lapotta. Does he keep a hold of it? He doesn't. Well, falls to Kensdale there.
Good pressure again.
Yeah. Gateshead playing definitely on the front foot here as Martin. Did manage to get it to a teammate, but cleared by Southend. Ball still in play.
Since the goal's gone in, Southend have just gone a bit scrappy, which is obviously what we want. We want to try and control the game now with Monty on the ball, especially just.
It was one of those goals where the defenders couldn't have done anything with it because they were doing their job. They were tracking the runners. The goalkeeper, unfortunately, might have seen it late because there was a lot of players in front of him, but Conter couldn't have struck it any sweeter. But Aaron Martin doing well to keep the ball in on the dead ball line, gets it back. It gets back to the keeper. But that's great to see there. Good pressure from Aaron Martin.
That's one thing he'll give you. It's 100%, and that's all you can ever ask, especially as a Gateshead player.
And we're starting to see more of it from him as his fitness gets back to more and more higher levels. We're seeing more and more of what is in Aaron Martin's game as the ball's played forward for the run of Powell. But there's Kenton Richardson just to nod it up the pitch, and Gateshead pick up the second ball, but dispossessed. Now Powell has it on the right-hand side. Bridge is on the far side of the pier if he can get a cross in, but he's closed down. Good work. Now comes across. Oh, it hits the crossbar. It just bounces away, and it's a goal kick. Oh, no, it's a how's he give a corner there?
I think it was a good save from Monty, actually. Tipped it up with the bar.
Well, it was like lightning. But now, Bridge, dead ball in. Can he pull the ball back?
That was out.
It stays in. There's nice work from Campbell. Gets past his man and he's fouled. There we go. Free kick to Gateshead. We can slow it down, get back into position, and this allows the substitution for Cardwell to come on for Ray, who is going to come off, and that is Chris Ray, who's coming off. And I believe his dad was the player Ray that played for Arsenal. I was told at half-time many moons ago. Well, it's been a like-for-like substitution, but he adds a different presence to Cardwell up front. You can see just by his physical size, he's going to be more of a target man for Southend here, but 57 minutes gone. Gateshead winning 1-0 at the moment as Montgomery's ball goes straight out for a throw here on the right-hand side.
Southend United. With the pitch, number 19, Chris Ray.
Well, Caldwell fouls Magnay just on the halfway line. We've got a message from Matthew Alderson. He's listening in Lanzarote. Thank you very much. But it's warmer there than what it is here.
Say probably better weather than it is there. Yeah.
As the ball's pinged up towards Harris, beaten in the air. Miley gets it out to Bridge. Bridge has to play it back to Kensdale, who plays it forward. There was Elliot Forbes to get in front of. Oh, Campbell just nicked off his foot. Hobson did enough there.
But now they're on the counter.
Right-hand side of the pitch, played down the line. Powell, was he offside? Well, the ball doesn't matter anyway. It's going to go out for a goal kick.
We need to try and stay on the front foot as much as we can, like it was there. We don't really want to invite any pressure on them. I think that's what they'll be hoping for.
Well, if we look back to the Stevenage game, once we got on the front foot, we know how it ended, but we looked the more dangerous side once we got level. Wasn't to be our day, but nice win by Conter in the air to get it to Harris. Harris, nice vision. Campbell on the left-hand side, driving towards the corner of the box. He's cut inside. Can he get a shot away? Oh, he can, but he just couldn't get the power on it. Nice vision from Harris, though, to pick him out. Well, Taylor plays it back to Kensdale. Kensdale out to Bridge. Bridge now runs up the left-hand side. Just checks back and gives it to Miley, the captain. Now gives it back to Bridge. Bridge cuts inside with the ball. Still going right into the centre of the pitch. Elliot Forbes is following for company, but it's across to Hobson. Now on the far side, can the ball come in? It's come towards Cardwell, beaten in the air, bounces up in the air, still hasn't been cleared yet. Pye manages to head it clear, but Southend camped out on the edge of the Gateshead box. Through comes the ball, Cardwell holds it up. Now plays it out to Bridge. Bridge on the corner of the box, cuts inside with it, goes for his shot. Magnay stands firm though. Comes back to Bridge, goes for it. Oh, another one. Martin comes back to help out. And Miley has the ball left-hand side of the box. There's Martin again.
Don't foul. You've got him going.
Fantastic work from Martin. There was the push. And a little bit overzealous. I don't think he's going to get a yellow card for it. But, oh, he is. Is he? No, that's the spray. Yeah. Just for a second there. Well, a free kick that's just as good as a corner. It's about 4 yards down the line. Bridge stands over it. Conter is Morgan Fonguk, who's on the edge of the box. In comes the delivery. Oh, and Cardwell got the header away, but put it over the bar. Oh, well, wide, actually.
Good pressure from Mike. He's defended really well. He's going to be a tough test against Cardwell in the air as well. So, obviously, they're a lot more threatening now.
He actually looks a lot slimmed down from when he was at Chorley. He was he's still a man mountain, but he seemed to be a bit stockier. He looks a little bit more agile now. As the ball comes up towards Aaron Martin, who's being held by Kensdale. Referee says nothing of it. There's now Southend get it out to Bridge. He controls it. Can it get past two Gateshead players and goes out for a throw to Southend. Southend go for the long ball, looking for the run of Cardwell, and Kenton Richardson didn't get the connection he wanted and went out for a throw in. Gateshead about to make their first substitution. We're going to see Connor Carty come on for Will Harris in the next break of play as Bridge gets the ball back, tries to take it down the dead ball line, crosses the ball in. It's a deep one towards the back post. It's going to, it got nodded back across by Southend, but was behind Cardwell, and it's back with Laporta, plays it back to Hobson just inside his own half. Good work from Campbell to close it down. Nearly got the ball as Bridge now plays it back to Laporta. Kensdale, Hobson.
They're getting a lot of joy again down that left-hand side where they were first half. They need to try and quash that as early
Lovely
as they
stuff
can.
from Kenton Richardson there. Managed to win the ball, but Forbes' ball forward didn't pick out a teammate, and then allows Hobson to pick out a crossfield ball, looking for. Didn't get the connection he wanted with that at all, did he? I think he's trying to pick out Bridge, but Montgomery manages to control it, and he picks it up for good measure when Caldwell come near him. There we go.
Battle of the haircuts there.
It is. I wonder if Monty got offered any modelling jobs for this year for the World Cup. He's done it in the past, hasn't he? For Betfred, he's been in the windows.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the video before, and then I watched it in the changing room a couple of days ago. I don't think they'll be asking for him back, to be honest.
It's too important here. Well, we are going to see Carty come on here, I think. Is the referee going to allow it? Free kick to Southend, though, just inside the run half. As we're going to see, it's Aaron Martin that's coming off. He has put in a hell of a shift here. And Aaron Martin leaves to a round of applause from the Tyne and Weir stand. As we're about to see Connor Carty, who's arrived on loan from Bolton Wanderers. Miley, centre of the pitch, plays it out to Hobson. Hobson plays it back, and looking to get this ball forward. Taylor tries to get it forward, but Elliot Forbes intercepts. Campbell sitting deep, plays it all the way back to Montgomery. And Connor Carty tries his first touch now, lays it off to Conter. Back to Connor Carty, he's got time to turn, goes for a shot himself, and well, you can't blame the lad.
It would have been some arrival. I think he's a confident lad, so I'll expect quite a lot of that.
Well, Carty chasing down, as is Conter. Now, Bridge was asking for the ball, but it goes across to the other side as Campbell tries to intercept it. Now the ball goes forward for Powell on the right-hand side of the box. Tries to cut it back, but there's Pye. And Gator can come away with it. There was appeals on the far side from the travelling fans there, but he's still down, Powell, at the moment. I think he's just put his boot back on. As they've kicked the ball out. Powell is up onto his feet now. Will Southend give the ball back? Well, Powell's all right. No, don't think there's going to be any sportsmanship here.
I like to think there is. There isn't.
There isn't. No, there is. There is. Oh, no. Well, Powell, the man that was down, is one-on-one with the keeper.
What is going on here?
Well, that's poor.
Ridiculous, to be honest.
Montgomery not happy. A bit of bad sportsmanship there. The rest of his teammates were letting that go through just to give the ball back as it was put out when he was down, and he's tried to latch onto it. Well, tension's bubbling over. The referee wants a word with a few people here. It's a corner. He wants a word with someone. Well, looks like it's Scott Morris.
They are well in the right to do that, but it shouldn't be allowed to happen, to be honest. There should be a rule.
Well, it looked like the rest of his teammates had left it to go through, but we are going to see another substitution. Dan Mooney is going to be coming on for Callum Powell. So that's probably the last he will have played in this game, unless he stays on for this set piece.
I know that Mooney's not a fan favourite of ours, so
yeah,
I'll expect quite a warm reception for him.
Well, we've got a set piece here. They've just had a stern talking to. I didn't see any cards there. As we await this delivery from the far side. A lot of tussling, shoving going on in the 6-yard box. In it comes. This ball goes over the top of everybody.
Justice has been served.
And bounces out for a throw. And Powell is down again. Well, that's the last action he will be playing in this match. As the referee goes over. He's been told to leave behind the goal, as is the rule now. 67 minutes gone, still Gateshead 1, Southend 0. As Dan Mooney makes his arrival on the pitch. Just a little look around the National League, see if there's any interesting score lines around at the moment. There's still 0-0 at Notts County there. There's 16,000. I think it's a league attendance record there today.
The Wrexham score looks good.
Yeah. So we'll get you some of them when we get a break in play. But Bromley are winning 3-1 away to Dorking, I can tell you that. As the ball is nodded out of play on the far side for a throw to Southend in the gated half. Well, we await this throw from Scott Morris. In it comes, headed away by Mike Williamson, falls to a yellow shirt. As now Mooney, I think, tries to whip it in there, and it bounces out of play for a throw-in. Come off a gated player. Still awaiting the throw. As Mike Williamson clears the ball, but it falls back to Scott Morris, who puts a delivery in. There's some yellow shirts coming in, but Kent Richardson, no nonsense, puts it behind.
I think this is the pressure that I was talking about before. We need to somehow try and get a foothold in the game and try and stop these balls coming in the box.
Definitely, but no nonsense. That's what you want to see. No passing about, or just put it out of play and get rid of the danger. But the danger's back as a edge of the box as they have the ball. As the shot comes in, deflects off a gated player, and out it goes for another corner. And well, if we can keep them to shooting like that, it's not too bad. We're pushing, not giving them much space. But yet another corner to come in from the far side. In it comes towards the 6-yard box. Montgomery fists it clear. Then it's given another prod clear as well by Pye for extra measure, but it falls to a yellow shirt. Harris comes out to push. And so does Campbell and Carty. It's on the right-hand side for Southend. It's Carty. Does he win the ball? No, good footwork there on the far side by the Southend player. Now Mooney has the ball, goes for his shot, and it bounces, and Montgomery's there, down to his right. And much like the counter strike, it could have went anywhere there through a crowd of players. There's Powell, gets a warm reception as he walks in front of the Tyne-and-Wear stand. We're into the 70th minute, if you are just joining us. Ball fired up towards gated front line, but there was Hobson to get into it as Mike Williamson puts it back up there. Carty wins the header, couldn't guide it towards a gated player though. Campbell tries to win the loose ball. Now it's played forward for Cardwell to run onto. Gets in front of Mike Williamson, but he's up there by himself now. He's got support, but he plays it back now. Scott Morris put it in, but Kenton Richardson's there to clear it, and nice control there by Harris. Got the ball to Conter. Conter now got it to Carty. Can Carty get in front of his man? Holds the ball up well, does well. Gives it to Magny. They'll play it back to Kenton Richardson. This is good from Gateshead. Just slow it down. Keep in possession is now Montgomery. Clears the ball up the pitch, and it falls to the captain, Miley. Up, and Elliot Forbes did hold on there. The referee says play on, and it's going to be a shot from the edge of the box and bounces past there. And I think we might get a. Is he going to pull it back for the foul? Thankfully not.
Advantage, isn't it?
Yeah, he played the advantage. The benches, Southend benches, want to know why it hasn't been pulled back, but or booking anyway. It's well played by the referee there. You got to give credit where credit's due.
He's been quite quiet, so that's definitely a good thing for the referee.
Well, when sometimes you see them not allowing the advantage to be played, and I think it was perfectly played there. I mean, even if they'd have scored, it would have been perfectly played. But there's Harris battling up there. Conter picks it up. Can he thread the ball through for Campbell? He can. Campbell's onside. Can he play it in the back of the net?
Get in!
Yes!
Get in!
Adam Campbell makes it 2-0.
Celebrating in front of the right back as well.
Oh!
Just what you want to see.
Lovely stuff. The ball from Conter. He picked out the run from Campbell. He had two defenders next to him, but he just calmly lifted it over the keeper, and that is 2-0 to Gateshead.
It's a great finish. Great pass from Camille. Great first touch to take it in his stride. and the keeper makes a bold move to come out, which gives Adam license to dink it over him. If he stands still, it's a much harder finish, and I love that celebration right in front of the person who didn't withhold the fair play.
Well, that was a lovely finish. And Gateshead, well, there's a lot of football still to be played. 72 minutes. It's 2-0 to Gateshead here. I need to change the score on the screen, so I'll quickly do that. But we're back underway. Ball's going all the way through to Montgomery, who will let it go out for a goal kick.
No mistakes from ourselves now, and it's just trying to see the game out as best we can.
Well, there we go. Gateshead winning 2-0 at the moment against high flying Southend as the Tyne and Wear stand is on its feet singing. They're liking what they're seeing. This is the Gateshead of old. We knew it could be happening. Just need to keep players fit and results will come, but it's not over yet as Gateshead win a throw just in front of their own dugout. Well, Magni in no rush to take this throw. Elliot Forbes gets the ball back to Magni, back to Elliot Forbes. Oh, dances past two players, plays it through. It's going to fall to, it's just going to fall to Harris there. But there was Kensdale to clear it. And
chance
and that's good pressure as Gateshead win the ball back. Campbell gets it to Harris. Harris, if he looks up, he's got Carty, plays it across the conter. Has the ball on the edge of the box down towards the right-hand side now. Good footwork. Can he get the ball to a teammate or even get across it? Takes out dead ball line, pulls up crossover. Oh, and Bailey was coming in, but there's Elliot Forbes to put it back into the danger zone. And an absolute calamity between Laporta and
what's the referee doing there?
And then indeed, well, Bailey's got the yellow card there. The ball was there to be won. It was up in the air. He certainly went for the ball, not the man. But it's a free kick nonetheless here to Southend. And back underway. Offside comes up against Carl, believe it. Well, Igor in Serbia is listening in. Still quite dubious on that one. I'm sure it's a lot cooler there, but thank you very much. Well, 15 minutes remain. Montgomery with the free kick. Up towards Carty. Carty wins the header, but it comes back to him though. He gets the second ball. Lovely little flick to Conter, but couldn't get it through the legs of Miley. And Miley manages to dance past the few. Campbell wins the ball. Can he get it to the edge of the box? Oh, keeper! What's that handball? Keeper's out the box and it brings it down. Shoot! Carty shoots! He's on the edge of the box. Gets it to Harris. Carty's and he's back into position, but Harris. No. Wow. I know we talk about it sometimes, but that was a real defence at 6s and 7s there for a second. The keeper had to come out to get it. He had to win it, and he did on the edge of the box. But he won the ball.
Again, there's just chaos, and that's what we thrive on. That's what we want. Adam has a chance to kill the game, but the keeper does very, very well.
Well, looks like Nathan Ralph is going to be coming on soon. I know he did play some minutes in a County Cup game earlier in the week. He's returned from injury. But Kensdale plays it straight into Elliot Forbes. Elliot Forbes, lovely little dink to Campbell. Plays the ball forward. Can Harris bring it down? He can. Needs some support though as the Southend defence get back into place. Magny plays it forward there. Carty, can he play it back to Magny? Plays it across the Forbes, finds Magny. Magny dead ball line, pulls it back. Oh, Carty, can he get a shot off? He's got players in front of him.
Get in! He scored on his debut. Get in!
What a debut! Carty, he had it stuck under his feet. 3 players in front of him, but he still gets the shot away. 3-0 to Gateshead, and Southend. Their heads look like they're dropping. There's a lot of players standing in the box. But Gateshead, they've stuck to the guns. They've tried to play their own brand of football, and it's paying off this afternoon.
The old dog Wagner getting in the box. They've worked the ball really well. Mags has played in a will to Forbes. Forbes has then played Mags after another run. It's another great ball across. Obviously defensive. They've just played out to Carty. Carty's took a touch and rifled it home. It's a great finish.
Well, they were very narrow, the defenders all together there when Carty managed to get his shot off that. But nonetheless, he still had to get on top of it, and he got it in the back of the net. And, well, 3-0 with 13 minutes remain here at Gateshead International Stadium. And it's rocking here. But it's not over yet. Southend are a good side. They'll still be wanting to get back into this game as Cardwell tries to win the head of the ball, bounces over. And does Mooney keep it in? Mooney kept it in. So if the foul up there was a foul, that one was a foul. But
exactly
the ball,
the same. But yeah, you talk about the consistency.
Well, Harris does well. Oh, lovely stuff. He's holding the ball up well when he's trying to get it there.
Good
And
tackle
now,
again from
and that's a foul on Harris. Free kick to Gateshead. And the travelling contingent, 600 strong at least on the far side, stand motionless. They'll be a little bit shell-shocked with the scoreline as it is so far. But Gateshead come out in the second half, and we'll see, we've played our game. We've looked like the Gateshead of old, to be honest, Greg.
Yeah, it's front foot stuff. That's how we want to play. I kind of want to say a big shout to Elliot Forbes. He's looked really solid in there, coming back in after a couple of years out. In just that last 10 minutes, he's the one that's been keeping the ball alive when it's been going into midfield. And we can't ask any more of you, centre midfielder, as he chases the ball down.
There he is now as he tries to chase it down, and Magne stands solid there. And Conta, he just unfortunately threaded it through to Van Gook now across to the far side. Mooney has the ball. There's Gateshead are back in numbers, but Mooney's still driving forward, tries to cut in, but there's Gateshead to clear it, but only as far as Miley. Miley looks to play it across the bridge, who's on the corner of the box on the left-hand side. Good foot control, plays it in, but there's a defender to clear it. It's come back in again, and Montgomery, beautiful reaction, save. It was going across. And he just plucks it out the air and smothers it on the ground.
Good defending and goalkeeping again. We've been pretty solid. The balls have come in the box, but there's never really been a Southend player on the end, and we can only credit that.
Well, I know the game isn't over yet, but Montgomery, yes, he's made a few saves, but he hasn't been tested as in, at full stretch. He hasn't had to pull off any, strong shot saves or anything. It's all been stuff that's been within reach, but the ball forward for Harris to try and chase down, but Laporta, I know they're 3-0 down, but he's a very solid defender. I've been impressed with him this afternoon, but now they try and break forward. Ball played out to Bridge on the left-hand side. He's got Magne for company, tries to cut inside, plays it forward to Van Gook as Magne and Kent Richardson are there, and just a grey wall. They block the ball, and out it goes for a throw-in. 10 minutes remain. Gateshead 3, Southend 0. Bridge is going to take this throw. Gets it back from Miley. Nice bit of footwork to get past the player. Plays it inside now. Ralph played it in. Nathan Ralph, and headed past the post by 15 yards. Was never testing anybody. Gateshead with a goal kick.
I hope that sticks, the grey wall. I'd like to hear that more often.
The grey wall,
yeah.
Well, Montgomery with the goal kick. Didn't get through to a Gateshead player, but now it's been lofted over. Harris would have been offside if he had went for that, and it's played all the way back to Ndai. A lot was said at the beginning of the season, obviously, when we lost the goal threat of Macaulay, Langstaff and Scott, but it was always going to take time to replace those players, and hopefully now we're starting to find our feet. But under attack at the moment is Cardwell, dispossessed by Conta there, and gets to clear the ball as Harris tries to get in front of it. Just misses out, but there was Carty to help block the ball forward as they try and go down the right-hand side now as Scott Morris plays the ball forward to Mooney. Mooney twisting and turning, plays it inside to Taylor, back to Mooney. Mooney under pressure from Campbell, put out to Scott Morris, back to Mooney. As Mooney gets past Campbell, plays the ball along the ground there, looking for Van Gook, and he got it in the back of the net, but the flag's up before he even kicked it. And, You can certainly see why Southend are up that end of the table. They do move the ball well in the final third. They find the gaps. They move around, and whether it's Powell or Mooney, they know how to find a gap, don't they?
Yeah, they have looked threatened, especially down this left side again with Bridge. I thought he's been their best player, to be honest. But again, they have got quality over the pitch, and I think they've just had a dodgy 15 minutes there where you've seen us really take advantage.
Well, at the moment, Montgomery is down. Hopefully, it's just cramp. Langley is warming up down the touchline to our left here. Yeah, looks like he's pointing towards his calf there. Hopefully, he's all right. Yeah, looks like he's getting a stretch. But we do have 8 minutes remaining here at Gateshead International Stadium. Well, Cow Daly has put buzzing 3,000 feet up in the Portuguese mountain up the heat. Greg might struggle to get back in if they play like this.
That might just be the case.
Well, as long as we're winning, Greg, that's the mindset.
That is it's a team game at the end of the day, and if we're getting 3 points every week, then so be it.
Oh, Montgomery, he's back up onto his feet. He's all right. He's had the thing that we have a photograph took there. I bet we look beautiful in that, Greg. One for the Christmas cards. Well, if the Southend defence didn't like the pressing they've had all this game so far, they're about to get some more because Dan Ward is stripped and ready to come on.
Should give us a bit of energy in midfield and a bit fresh legs.
Yeah, I think they'll. Been nodded forward towards Cardwell, just bounced over him there, and Mike Williamson, no nonsense, just launches the ball up and away towards this left-hand side. It's going to be kept in by Bridge, but he runs into Magne.
Never a foul again.
And you see the panic in Magne's face there. He thought maybe the card
run away. Yeah.
As been quickly taken. Miley now in the centre of the pitch, plays it out to Bridge. Bridge cuts inside. Now goes down the line to the edge of the box. Still twisting and turning, gives it to Nathan Ralph. Nathan Ralph with a nice bit of footwork, plays it across, and it's been cleared. And well, the Southend bench, they're in disarray there. They thought someone was going to prod it home. And now comes the third and final substitution for Gateshead.
Really well worked.
Sorry, it's only the second substitution. I apologise. As it's going to be Harris coming off. He's put a good shift in today. He's done a lot of the work off the ball to help the team. Involved in the build-up plays as well. He got the ball to Conta for Conta to get the assist. He's had a good week, good couple weeks. 3 goals and heavily involved in the goals today.
Wardy coming on as a striker, which you've never seen before.
He's got the pace for it as Miley plays it inside to Nathan Ralph. Bridge picks up the loose ball. They're really going for it at the moment as Bridge is dispossessed, but it falls to Taylor, and there's Bailey to push out, and Mooney manages to get it across to Scott Morris. Scott Morris gives it to Mooney. Mooney now whips the ball into the box. Caldwell was there. Offside flag goes up. And it was a good delivery, just Caldwell had just straight off.
And Wardy's now switched with Connor.
Well, Adam Campbell's been given man of the match here. Hard to argue with that, but there's been some other candidates there. Conta grew into the game in the second half. His goal certainly helped that. I was very impressed with Harris as well throughout the game. Even the back four have been very good as well.
I think probably the good thing is you can't really pick one of the back four, but they've all been really, really solid together. It's looked the best it has, to be honest.
Well, attendance today over 1,800, 700 away fans were Gateshead on the attack as Bailey lays it off to Dan Ward. Can he pull it back across? Lovely footwork. He's still going. Ward, he just runs into too many players, and now it's been cleared out towards the corner flag. Bailey keeps it, lets it go out. Actually, sorry, I thought he was going to keep it in, but it's went for a Gateshead throw. But 1,800 here today, 710, I think it is, from Southend. What a following, what an attendance here today, and they've been rewarded thus far. I know we're winning 3-0, but there's still some time left. But what a game of football we've been treated to here in the second half, as Conta brings it down, keeps it towards the corner flag, just dispossessed. Ball played up in the air, it still stays in. Now it's been cleared by Southend. Kent Richardson's there behind Cardwell. Cardwell manages to turn, gets the ball forward. There's Mike Williams, gets past him though. And now the ball played across to Mooney. Mooney's got one-on-one with the keeper. Can he finish it? He can. It's 3-1. And Gateshead just unpicked there at the end. And they were trying to keep it in the corner flag. It didn't work out. And I think someone is going to get a yellow card for overzealousness. Pushed a Gateshead player into the back of the net. He won't mind too much, but it is 3-1 here at Gateshead International Stadium now. And just change the score on the screen. Well, that's a stark reminder that a goal can happen in just a few seconds. We were trying to hold it up in the corner flag, and they broke and caught us.
They've managed to get a lucky ricochet down the left-hand side, and then another one where Mike's probably tried to clear it rather than just taking the ball and player. It was a good ball, to be fair, around the back four.
It was good work by Cardwell, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So he avoided the two challenges and kept the ball going forward as Bailey. There's a Maradona there over the bench. Did you see that? World Cup fever. It's got everybody. Yeah. As Cardi chases down, so does Dan Ward. They're having to play it around the back at the minute. Or Southend, we've got 2 and a bit minutes of normal time remaining. Ball over the top towards Cardwell. Richardson wins the header. There we go. Elliott just calmly lays it off to Magnay. Magnay carries it forward, plays the ball to Ward. Lovely turn. Can he keep the ball moving forward? Campbell's on the far side. As to Bailey. Now Campbell has the ball. And Gateshead still in control. Left-hand side, Pye drives forward. If it was he fouled? Referee says yes. That just burns down the clock a little bit more. Just over a minute and a half remain here. Gateshead 3, Southend 1. What an important win this will be if Gateshead can see this out without any silly mistakes here at the end. I don't think anybody expected Gateshead to pick up points here today, especially not the bookmakers. I think had us 12-5 today. As the ball played down towards Pye, who's going to take it down to the corner flag.
In the corner if we can.
Got a couple of players around him. He's been dispossessed, and now Southend on the break, trying to play it into the centre there, and gets past Elliott Forbes. There's a few tackles coming in. Gateshead win it though, and through contact, but it falls back to a yellow shirt, and now it comes across the bridge. Lovely ball.
Oh, I don't know. I think he's guessed there. He's really guessed.
Oh, well. Bailey's already on a yellow card.
Yeah, it didn't look like a foul, never mind the yellow card. So,
well, ball played forward of the run of Van Kook. Is he going to be able to keep it in? He isn't.
It's a goal kick.
It's a goal kick. Yes.
It's a goal kick. He's given a throw in as well.
Apologies there, we don't know what happened. We're back. Gateshead managed to clear the ball. 4 minutes of added on time here at Gateshead International Stadium. Please let us know if you can hear us. Are we here? Can you hear us? Let us know. As Montgomery kicks the ball from his hands up towards Dan Ward, who does well to bring it down. Lays it off to Magnay. Magnay plays it forward.
Try and keep them there.
And now it bounces Stays in by Laporta, plays it across back to the goalkeeper. Yes, we're back on with the sound. Apologies, don't know what happened there. But Gateshead, say we're probably about a minute and a half into the added on 4 here as the ball's played forward for Caldwell. Hits off Richardson there, got his body in the way. Now Gateshead can try and get the ball forward. Conter just dispossessed there in midfield. And the ball with Bridge on the left-hand side, driving forward. He runs towards the corner of the box, tries to sell a dummy, goes for a shot, block, goes out for a corner to Southend. Once again, apologies for the audio going off. We don't know what happened there. We got logged out of the broadcast system. Thankfully, it was still on. In comes the delivery now towards the back post. Montgomery fists it clear on the far side. Carty goes over to stop Mooney from getting to it, plays it off Mooney, but the ball's down to dead ball line. Can it be crossed in? As Rafe trying to keep the ball alive. Now comes the cross into the box. But there's Bailey with a diving header to get it clear. Camped out on the edge of the box. Southend, they still think they can get something. They're still trying to plug away here as Miley has the ball from the edge of the box. He's going to go for a long shot. Frustrating. Great save by Montgomery. And then past this, the follow-up shot went put wide. Hit the corner flag, actually. And we're going to see Gateshead with the final substitution of the game. Lyra Kasani is going to come on for Adam Campbell, the man of the match. He's going to get a round of applause here when he comes off Adam Campbell.
It's a big save from Money, that. Fortunately for us, the rebound goes wide.
Substitution for Gateshead. Your man of the match, Adam Campbell.
Well, Adam Campbell getting a fantastic round of applause here from the Tyne Weir stand. Many on their feet. Lovely finish for his goal, and his work rate, as ever, has just been 110%.
A few announcements about future games. Just strip up the final whistle. I'll give you those details.
Well, Montgomery takes the goal kick up towards Magnay. Loses out in the aerial battle. Now it's played forward for Bridge, but there's Kenton Richardson with a fine swerving tackle there as the ball goes up towards Undee on the edge of the box. He clears the ball up towards Mooney, who brings the ball down well, looks to turn his man. Hassani still driving with the ball as Mooney cuts inside now. Bridge is in here because of space if he sees him, but kept the ball too long, gives it to Rafe. Rafe now picks out Bridge on the left-hand side. Bridge cannot get past Conter though, and Conter drives forward with the ball, runs into space, still going, plays the ball forward there for Carty, couldn't just pick him out. And now Southend try and attack again. As Bridge is in acres of space on this side here. If the ball comes in, decent. It didn't though. Williamson stubs it clear, and the arms are thrust aloft from the Southend dugout in frustration.
He's going to blow. There you go.
And there you go. Gateshead, bottom of the league at the beginning of the day, took on high-flying Southend and come out victors 3-1. Greg, we've seen some good goals, but we've seen a lot of hard work in the first half that allowed us to go out and play our game in the second.
Yeah, it's a much like overall performance. Usually it's been like in spells, but I think that's the first game where we've really put a full 90-minute performance together, and we've really got the just desserts. So again, some very good goals, some very good performances, but I'd like to hear that grey wall a lot more often. I think it could easily catch on. It just gives us that platform to go and attack, and we've shown that we can mix it with the best again.
Well, I'll say we started off the season well. We showed Notts County and Wrexham, even though we didn't get anything from the Wrexham game, that we can mix it with the big boys when we've got a full array of players available, and this afternoon just went to show that. Greg, thank you very much for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure. Hopefully we'll have you back on the pitch soon. And a big thank you to everyone that has tuned in. Thank you very much. Apologies for the couple of gaps in sound there. It just wasn't our day. Don't know what happened. But please do join us on the Heat Army podcast live on Thursday, 9 p.m. We'll preview the Torquay game. And of course, we'll be talking about this great result here this afternoon. Thank you very much.